So, starting a new FlipAnim distance learning animation assignment, and what we're going to do today is go over what is called lip syncing. So making lips go change frames to make the appearance of talking, and you're going to choose a word to lip sync with this kind of like a smiley face emoji type of character. And so let's go ahead. I'm going to go back to FlipAnim to get started. So you'll go to flipanim.com. Log in if you like. You can always create animations without actually logging in as well. We'll use the beta editor, and now we're ready to get started. So first thing we're going to do is use our pencil tool, and we're going to draw a circle, and the way we're going to do that is just by using our pencil tool and clicking once. So I'm going to make the biggest option. I mean, I can expand it, but I'm going to choose the biggest pencil, and you could do any color. You don't have to do the yellow color. I'm going to do the yellowish color. Click once, and then I'm going to take my expand tool, this blue box with the two arrows, and click and drag to expand this. And I want to make it pretty big, like almost taking up like about half of the amount of the space. Okay, so I forgot I have to switch tools to move this now, right? So expanding is good. Switch to the green box to move it. We want to just place it right about in the middle. Okay, now what we're going to do is go ahead and draw our background. So I'm going to take my pencil tool again, and I'm going to draw my background on the paper, not on the layers, but on the paper. And I just want to take my color. I was using like dark gray. Again, you can do any colors you want. I'm going to just click and drag to make a line through the back there, and then take my paint bucket tool and just click on the lower half to fill that in. I see this little dotted line here, so I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to choose like lighter gray tone. Again, you could choose any color you want, and then just click in the area above, and then you have just like a simple background, like a ground and a wall or a sky or whatever you want to do. Again, always welcome being creative. So now that I've got my background and my smiley face kind of head, I'm going to draw the eyes. So I'm going to go back to my pencil tool, keep my shape on the largest. I'm going to actually click in here to get white, because when you see this dot, it's not all the way in the corner. If I drag it all the way up into the corner, I can get like a true white color. And then with the biggest pencil shape, I'm going to click once. Oh, I'm still on my paper layer, so it went behind this. So I'm going to hit Control Z to undo. You could use these arrows here as well to undo or redo. Go to this layer with my smiley face head and put down an eye, and then put down another eye. And you will kind of need to make sure that you put these down in the right place, because if I go to move or resize, it's going to move everything. So if you want to undo something, you could just hit Command or Control Z. Control Z will undo those moves, or you can use these arrows. And if I want to redo them, because they were pretty good, then I'm good. Now I'm going to go to a dark blue color, reduce my size 1, and then just put some pupils in for the eyes. Okay, and they can be kind of goofy, silly. It's kind of a silly smiley face kind of thing that we're doing. So that looks fine. And then the next thing that I'll want to do is think about my word. Okay, so my word was howdy. So I had drawn a cowboy hat on my guy. So think about what your word is at this point, and think about if you want to draw any other accessories, like a hat, like a party hat, or goggles, or what do you want to? What is your guy going to say? Is he going to have a hat or something, some kind of accessory that you want to draw on him? Because now would be the time to do it. You could do it later, and I'll talk about that later too. But I'm going to draw my cowboy hat. Again, I don't want us all to draw cowboy hats. I would like if some of us were to come up with things that were original ideas too. Look at the emojis in your phone. There's lots of little emoji guys that we could kind of mimic here. So drawing this cowboy hat, kind of start with like this bean type shape coming off the top, and then I'm going to go up, down, up, and then come back. And then I'm going to kind of draw like a little stripey kind of thing that goes along there. And then I'm just going to hit these in with my paint bucket, and then hit these little spots. This one's going to be tricky. Yep, Control Z. That one's going to be tricky to get. I could just paint it with my pencil, draw it in with my pencil, Make the size decent. And yeah, I could just kind of like draw it like that, a little stripe across his hat. Yeehaw! All right, now we're ready to animate the word and the mouth, okay? And I was actually going to animate the eyebrows a little bit too. So where we'll do that is actually on a new layer, okay? So over here you can see add a layer, remove a layer. So I'm going to add a new layer, and this blank layer here is where your mouth should be, because these are all kind of staying together attached. These are not really going to change, right? But your mouth and the eyebrows are going to change, so we want that on its own layer. So again, pencil. Take whatever color you used for your pupils. If you use black, use the dark blue, whatever you want to use. And we're going to start by just drawing very simple, basic mouth on this first frame here. So just kind of dragging across. I'm going to have a little bit of a smile going. And just kind of staying like between the two eyes. And again, Control Z to undo. Doesn't have to be perfect, but there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. So now I'm ready to start animating, right? The word and the mouth. So I'm going to hit new frame or copy frame. This is a duplicate frame. And on this frame now, what I'm going to do is write out my word. So whatever your word is, you would write it out on your second frame. Okay, so you're going to start with the letter H, O, W, D, and Y, and a question mark. All right, and so on this frame as well, I can start by changing the mouth on this one, okay? So it would be the H sound, and when you make a H sound, we want to now refer to our classroom page and see if we can find those letters. So I know H, and sometimes you have to actually make the shape with your mouth, like actually act it out. So I don't see an H in here in this image actually, but kind of like my bottom row teeth kind of show, kind of like the E sound, not the top row, huh. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to erase this mouth off of this frame. Okay, so I'm going to take my eraser, set my size the biggest, I'm going to erase it off here, go back to my pencil tool, take my 4, size 4 is kind of what I say, so 3, 4, and I'm going to draw a new mouth. And so what that should kind of be is a H. I'm kind of like seeing like an O mouth with like the bottom row of teeth kind of showing, and that's what's going to be my H shape. Okay, and then I'm going to do another duplicate frame. All right, and then I'm going to erase this mouth and do the O shape. So I'm going to go down, take my largest shape because it's easy to erase with a large one, and then go back to my pencil and make my size back down to 3. Need to get my dark color back again to draw the new mouth. And I'm looking back at here, so O, so the O face. So we want to draw kind of like an O and then a line underneath it, and use my paint bucket to fill it. Okay, so I got my ho, ow, I need a W, so that's kind of like this shape here. So again, now on this new frame here, I'm going to take my eraser, go with the big size, and then I'll go back down to the 3, or 4 rather, and I'm just going to kind of make this W face where the corners kind of like poke out, and it's still rounded at the top and bottom. And then if I go back to this image here, yeah, you see the tongue a little bit at the bottom and then lines above the top edge and the bottom edge. So I could add this here, could add this here, a line for the tongue going across, and then I'm going to fill in these shapes here with my paint bucket. So how? So I got my how, and then I need a D. So I'm going to do another new frame, take my eraser, go with the big size, and erase this mouth. And back to the pencil then, size 4, dark color, ow, I need a W. How D? Oh yeah, D. So T, D, T and D are pretty similar, so I'm going to do this T kind of shape here. Again, I got my pencil already set, ready to go. So I'm going to do a line across. It's a T, and D is kind of like a thin smile here. Let me just double check. Yeah, a little curve underneath we'll go with. And just going to fill that in the color of the teeth. T. So it's kind of like your teeth kind of come together with the D, T, D, T sound. And then we need E. So the E mouth would be kind of this one, wide open. Before I do that, I'm going to want a new duplicate frame. And on this one now, again, I'm going to erase my mouth away. Take the biggest shape, erase that mouth away. Take my pencil shape, my pencil tool rather, my dark color, and I need to check the E shape again, so that's like this. So I'm going to make the E face kind of like a wide open mouth. Howdy. And let's just double check, yeah, top and bottom rows of teeth and the tongue in there. So I'm going to try and do a line across the top, a line across the bottom, and maybe just like a line right here that'll be like the tongue. And I'll fill in this half, that color. I'll change to fill the top part white, the bottom part white. Hard to tell because I think I see a little bit of the previous frame, and then this corner is going to be red. Okay, so howdy, I think I got them all. So let's give this a play. Howdy, 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 howdy. So it goes pretty quick. So at this point, what we want to see is, I'm going to pause it, is the very first frame we want to make really slow. So you may have noticed I've played with this a little bit and now really realized what is happening here. So this changes the amount of time that each one of these frames shows for. So you can see the length of that blue bar change when we change this. So when I put this up here, that's going to make this first frame take a longer pause, where these ones all go faster, okay? So howdy, so then it has a bit of a pause at the end. So I might even extend it up to this point. So it's kind of, or you know what? We're going to go all the way slow. First frame is all the way slow. So you have that pause, right? So first frame all the way slow, and then howdy. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I forgot to add the eyebrows. So I can actually, here, let's pause this really quick. I'll just do a little eyebrow touch action so you can see what that would look like. Take my pencil tool. Where I was going to put that is, I was going to start on this kind of O face. I was going to start a little arch eyebrows here, and then go to the next frame here, and then move them out a little bit there, and then on this one maybe move them out one last time, and then they won't be on this last one. So let's give it another play. So yeah, so it just adds a little secondary action. You know, you have the mouth moving and the secondary action of the eyebrows, so it's kind of good. Now if you want to add anything else to it at the end, it would be good to add it to your paper layer. Like if I hadn't drawn this hat at the beginning on this layer, then I would have had to redraw it on all these frames, so that is kind of a no-go. So if you at the end decide you want to draw a hat or something, you would want to draw it on your paper layer. Okay, so that pretty much covers that. So at the end, make sure you save, you know, we'll call this Howdy Dude. Howdy Dude. You can call it lip sync. Yeah, let's call it that. Let's call it lip sync. Lipsynch. Lip sync, we'll say public or not, whatever works for you. We'll say upload, you're not a robot. And then last, say continue. And that will upload. Once it finishes uploading, we'll just review really quick. You want to click on this GIF link here, and that should open this up in a new window. You can right click, you could save this to your computer, or you could save it to your Google Drive. If you clicked it and it downloaded, then it's probably in your downloads folder in your documents. So make sure that you submit on Google Classroom, and that is it for this lip sync lesson for the day.